32 down, 40 to go. Oh, bloody Christ. Get on with it. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this. It's part 2 of September. Had to think what month it is then because I'm an idiot. It's edition of Question Mark. Like I say, we had 72 questions in the end, and I thought I answered a lot of them, hell of a lot of them, on part 1. Turns out I actually only did 32. In those, might have a part 3 on this. We'll try and bash through these ones as quickly as we can. Usual rules: camera, battery dying on my laptop, or me just falling down because I'm even more full of a cold today than I was on part 1. Yay! First question comes in by text message. I bet you didn't know you could send questions by text message. Well, neither did I, but apparently you can. My old friend, my old sparring partner, and the guy I beat for the UBW Championship, that'll be Danny Ace, Mr. Danny Agar, says, is the reason Triple H, you asked me 2 questions, you arse, and the rule's 1. So no. Just one. I'm sorry, but there's rules. And rules are there to be followed, aren't they? Is the reason Triple H is so passionate about NXT talent because being successful is because once he has full control of creative, he'll use the groomed indie performers to fuel the main roster and have better wrestling on his show. I listened to Triple H's interview with Chris Jericho the other day on the Talk Is Jericho thing. Triple H pisses me off because he comes across as a genuinely likeable guy. If you watch the Triple H DVD, if you watch that, other than the Triple H Steph wedding bollocks, you just go, because I don't care about your real life wedding in the slightest. You just like, you come out of it going, what a nice bloke. And I thought the exact same thing about when I listened to the Talk Is Jericho. You go, this guy's cool. This guy makes me smile. This guy's funny. Triple H is an old school wrestling fan, and you can see that the lack of territories bothers him and things like that. So there's no way for young kids to train. What he's done with the Performance Center is absolutely incredible, I think. I mean, NXT is a testament. Recording this on Friday, the 12th, I watched the NXT TakeOver show last night. Not a great show, but at least a good show. I enjoyed most of it. And, you know, the talent, especially the girls, I think, are a credit to NXT. I mean, the Charlotte versus Bayley match, I went in going, well, I like Bayley, but I like a gimmick more than I like her in-ring work. I don't know anything about Charlotte because I've never actually seen her that much. So yeah, I went in with low expectations, and the match was actually pretty decent. If you know, my nitpick would be, I think that Charlotte got just a little bit too much offense, and to be honest, it was starting to look like a bit of a squash. Excuse me, I'm still full of cold. I do apologise. But what you basically said is absolutely spot on. He will get a better product if he can handpick the best guys off the indies and teach them the WWE way. And the ones who are good enough talents, unlike Adrian Neville, who will get it straight away and go, yeah, I know exactly what I need to do. And as long as they're allowed to get over on their own merits, you know, like Adrian Neville has, it's all good, I think. I worry about Devitt and I worry about Steen that they'll be lost in the shuffle. But at the end of the day, yeah, going forward, they've got a great roster, haven't they? Or great, but you can pick out the roster. Now, of course, some of these guys are just not going to work. Bo Dallas is an example who I said that character will not work on the main stage. And I think Vince gave up on it, is the truth of it, because there were people who were getting into it. You have people who told me I fucking hate Bo Dallas. Why? Like, oh, that Bo leave shit. It's like, yeah, but he's doing his fucking job then, isn't he? Isn't that mean if you don't like him for that reason, then surely his gimmick is working? I think, yeah, I'll answer both your questions because we're old friends. You absolute twat. How's that sound? God damn it. Second question. Do you think Jarrett's new promotion will destroy the last chances TNA and Ring of Honor have of being the number 2 show? Or will it bomb or be like WCW? Will it bomb and be like WCW? That'd be funny, wouldn't it? The thing about Jarrett's thing is, I mean, they've announced all these deals with companies. They're affiliated, that's the one, with... Hey, shut up, I'm full of a cold. Like, they've got one for a couple of promotions in this country, and they've got ones for in Japan, but they haven't announced any taping dates or anything like that. The amount of people that they've been in touch with, and like I said, the companies that they're associated with, they should have realistically the best roster in the world. I mean, really be able to pick and choose the best guys from so many different promotions, put them all together and go, right, there you go. As long as Russo's not involved, and there is a chance of that, with it being Jeff Jarrett and all. Number two, one of those things I just don't know. Without TV, I don't think they could be. But at the end of the day, TNA hasn't got TV going forward, has it? And Ring of Honor has only got the Sinclair deal. So if they could get, it's all about ratings, I suppose. At the end of the day, if they get a TV and they can outdraw TNA's current, what they do, 1 point something ratings, I think that was the last time I checked, a year ago. If they can get TV and draw higher ratings than TNA, then yes, they're by default the number two. It's probably the best way I can say. How's that sound, Danny? Oh, thank you very much for those, old friend. There's a emergency vehicle. Obviously. Hey, look at this. I don't have one on the bid for ages. And then 2 back-to-back Q&As, there's one. It's a bloody ambulance up, and it's coming the other way, so I'm sorry, but it's going to get louder. This show is not sponsored by Blue Spark. I wish it was. Saying that, this being sponsored by anyone would be incredible. I'd love it if we get that. Get some sponsorship for the show. Ambulance. Full of cold. Got such a headache. So please go away. Ambulance. Next, Manny D says, oh my god, look at this. Shut up. My head hurts. A lot. Manny D says, who would you rather punch in the face? And listen to this list of choices. Peter Gilmore, Corbaz, Spaz Phoenix, Sean's View Entertainment, or Spinnernet? So obviously the answer that, you can't, I'm assuming you mean I can only have one, is what you're trying to say. I can't just line them up and go, right, you're a cunt, bang. Oh, you're a cunt, bang. You're definitely a cunt, bang. Should we go through their various problems? Spinning that out, nah. Spinning that straight away, no. I mean, just no. Not worth the time. The guy says so much stuff that is just, like, ridiculous that, you just go, really? Sean's View Entertainment. I'd like to sit the guy down and see what makes him tick. Because, I mean, I'd actually like to I'd like him to do a day in the life video. Sean, I mean, I don't watch his vids, but if he ever does this one, can you send it to me? A day in the life of Sean's View. Because, if I did a day in the life, you'd probably watch it going, where's the bit where he watches wrestling? I'd be sat there going, guys, don't watch wrestling as a rule. I had a guy talking to me on Facebook the other day, have you watched any wrestling today? No. And he's like, why not? Because most days I don't. And people, I've said this to people in person, right? People have this, and because I do wrestling review vids, people have this conception of me that I watch wrestling all day, 24/7, and it couldn't be further from the truth. I go to watch live wrestling, right? And as a rule, if I don't watch Raw or watch a WWE pay-per-view, I won't watch any WWE in the week. So the only wrestling from WWE I'll watch is if I'm doing it 10 years ago or if I'm watching 1998 Sucks. And I watch wrestling every Tuesday religiously. My brother-in-law comes round, we have a few beers, we play either some PES or some FIFA, and then we'll normally, like, about midnight, we'll put a pay-per-view on, or a show on. It's normally, 9 times out of 10, it's a PWG show. We're going through the 2011 shows at the moment. Sean's View, though, because he does so many vids in a day, right? Vids take time to edit, vids take time to upload. I'd love to see what he actually does away from thingy. Because surely it's a case of, he's mowing the lawn, and I don't know if his fucking phone goes off and there's some breaking news, and he runs to the camera and goes, welcome! And you just go, oh, that intro, every time. You can get something new. Wouldn't want to punch him, I don't think. I mean, at the end of the day, I've said before, people think I hate the guy. I don't hate the guy. Got to respect him. He's got the most subscribers of anyone in the wider USA. 17,000 last time I looked, which was a couple of days ago. And there was a reason, because some guy was commenting on, remember the vid I did on him? Yeah, some guy was commenting on that, and I just wanted to, he was saying, you bitched about subscribers, and I was saying, no, that's not the case. I was saying if I had his amount of subscribers and got the amount of views that he got, I'd be worried. So I just had to go and check. It's like, look, it's now at 17,000, gets 5,000 per vid. And you're like, so that's a lot of people. If I do a 1998, was it great, sorry, vid, and 600 people watch it, that's 1,000 people who haven't watched it yet. I can live with that, I suppose. If I had 17,000 subscribers and 5,000 people watched the vid, that's 12,000 people who've gone, fuck that. Yeah, that I'd be worried about. So yeah, gotta respect the guy. Spaz Phoenix hates me because I made some comments on a video. He couldn't see that I was joking. He got really angry. He says he doesn't give a shit about haters, but absolutely despises me. And that has always made me laugh. It has always made me smile, because it's one of those dudes, some guy on the internet, why do you give a fuck? But he just hates me so much. Corbaz, I actually had to think about who that is. Corbaz did a vid on me that was just one of those. I don't know. It was a bit of fun, I think. I mean, he's put nice comments on my vids since then, so I assume it's just a bit of a laugh. So no, Gilmore is just one of those weird people. He's just one of those. Again, I'd like to see him away from the camera to see if he's actually like that. You know, there's a comment on my channel last week from the guy that I still suck dick. And it's just one of those, that comment is surely the best way best comment you can put if you want people to think that you're an absolute cunt, you know? So it's one of those, I need to see if that's real. Because let's think about this, yeah? Let's say for argument's sake that I do suck dick. I don't, but let's just say for argument's sake for this moment that I do, alright? What difference does it make to Peter Gilmore if I do or not, other than the fact that if I do, he must be the most homophobic person alive? Because it doesn't affect him at all. Also, you know, he says that I fear him. I fear Gilmore. Now, this is a guy who lives on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean. I think he lives in New York, does he not? So what reason have I got to fear him? He's got 200 subscribers. So it's not like I'm like, oh my God, this guy's going to be the new Mark P or something ridiculous like that. I'd never think that, but you know what I mean. His vids are terrible. They're too long. They take too long to say. And the fact that he encourages the haters is one of the things that I will never understand. Putting "fuck the haters" in the comments on your new vid encourages people to say, yeah, you click on the vid, thumbs down straight away. You know, the fact that he puts, this vid's now had 20 views, and you fuck off. Out of all of them, it'd be Spaz Phoenix just because he couldn't take a joke. You know, and it's one of those, it's that combined with the fact when I put the charity show, remember I did a wrestling charity show last year, it's on my old channel, the whole thing in its entirety for you to go and watch and enjoy. And when I put that online, Spaz came along because I'd forgotten to block him on the old channel, because I can't be arsed with him. It's one of those, like, if I block you, I never have to hear from you ever again, do I? Let's just do that. Instead of you putting your bullshit comments about how I'm fucking my mum, which is one of Spaz's favourites, you know, because he knows, obviously, with his earring and his bald hair. You know, fucking my mum, clearly. Yeah, I didn't block him on the old channel. So he comes along on this charity show bit and basically says, in no uncertain terms, if you're going to e-beg, there's better ways of doing it. He basically says that I pocketed the money from doing the charity show. And it's like, say what you want about Mark P, I would never, ever do that. So just for that reason, this is a very long-winded answer, isn't it? But just for that reason, of those guys, he's the one I will punch in the face very, very hard. Okay. The Fredster 101 says, if you could do commentary on any show with anyone, what show would you choose and who would partner you? 2 questions, I know, but I'd love to hear your opinions. I'll open both. Well done on 16,000 subscribers. 2 Mark, been sub for 2 years now. 2 years, awesome. And you spelled my name with a C, so I'll let you off the 2 questions. If I could commentate with anyone, it would be Gordon Soley, because he's the Dean and he is the best. He's fucking amazing. A lot of people who will say that Jim Ross is the best commentator ever, and if you think that, I've got no objections to that. Just go back and listen to the way that Gordon Soley spoke in the 80s. His commentary style was amazing. His storytelling ability was incredible. He didn't have to, oh my God, to get something over, you know. He was amazing. What show? I mean, think about it, because of course it's a fantasy. We can commentate on anything, me and Gordon, can't we? I'd love to go back and watch I'd love to commentate something like the first Starcade with Gordon Soley at that time. Yeah, I think that'd be, when kayfabe was still real and all that, I think that'd be absolutely stunning. Cheers for that, dude. Barry Lloyd said, hi Mark, with a C. Congratulations on 16,000 subscribers, 1,600 subscribers, sorry. Keep up the hard work. My question is, what current WWE roster has the potential to be the next face of the company when Cena finally decides to go away? In brackets, hopefully he does soon. Here's the thing. This is a very tough question. We get this on, you know, a lot of people get this one on Q&As. If you had told me in a Survivor Series in 2002, if you turned to me at Survivor Series and you said to me, yeah, that John Cena kid who made his debut in July, yeah, face of the company, I would go, no, not been used on TV in ages. Aren't they thinking about getting rid of him? And then, yeah, when Royal Rumble came and he was fucking, he had Paul Buchanan with him as B squared or whatever he was, and you go, face of the company. Fuck off. No, absolutely not, wouldn't you? So here's the thing, on the current roster, it literally, and I really do mean this, could be anyone. I'm not, you know, you think, so, oh, bollocks, you know, it's not going to be Zack Ryder. The thing is, it could, because it's exactly the same. You look at Zack Ryder and go, not a chance. But at the same time, you there, you probably looked at John Cena at that time and go, not a chance. I think it literally could be anyone. I mean, I think the 3 Shield guys are obviously their little pet project. And that's awesome because they are, you know, they came up through the right way. Like Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose came up through the Indies and they went through the NXT and all that. You know, I like that. That's good. So my answer is very vague, I'm afraid. It could be anyone. How's that? That's also a very non-committal answer, isn't it? Adam Secafico says, do you think WWE will be more successful if they opt in a more counterculture style of presentation? Maybe not as over the top as, say, the Attitude Era, but rather like a UFC promotes and presents their product. Now the first thing I've got to say is I don't watch UFC, so I don't know how they do their product, but I think maybe what you mean is that it's obviously real, and I think one of the things I think that's stopping the next boom period is the fact that social media and everything exists like that. Basically, you can't say that wrestling's real anymore. So, do you mean like that? I don't know how they present their product. I mean, counterculture. I'm an old man. I don't know what that means. I don't know what counterculture would be these days, or for example, because I'm not in tune with the youth anymore. So I'm just doing my own thing and having the worst dress sense and the most terrible hair of anyone on earth. It's not good getting old. I don't like it. So yeah, I'm afraid I can't really answer that one. If you could let me know in the comments down below what you mean, and maybe I'll be able to I'll reply. If you let me know in the comments what you mean, I'll reply writtenly. All right, I'll write you a reply. Does that sound fair? Limp Biscuit Boy says, I know you don't watch your vids back most of the time, but in your opinion, what's been the best video you've ever made? One you're proud of. Congrats on the channel. Been watching since '08. That's incredible. Oh my god, you're right. I watch my vids back. As a rule, what I'll do is I'll record a vid like this. I'll put it into Windows Movie Maker, which is what I use to edit because I don't need anything better, and I'll edit it and I'll save it. And while it's saving, I'll go back and watch the original file just in case there's anything in there that I shouldn't know. So that way I've got, it's like, oh shit, I can stop the save sort of thing and go and edit that, because I can't be asked to watch it all the way through when it's edited. I know it's a stupid way of doing it, but it makes sense to me, alright? And then, yeah, I'll probably never watch them again. I mean, if I want to check the comments, for example, on the YouTube, on your upload thing, you just click on all comments and it doesn't bring the vid up. Two reasons for that. One, I don't want to hear my fucking awful voice. And secondly, I don't want to contribute towards the views, because YouTube nowadays is very much based on the demographic and the audience retention. You get graphs of them, and it's very depressing to see that the majority of my vids, they start off at 100% and then just go straight down to about 60 within the first minute of the vid. And so I don't want to contribute towards that, because it'll only count on if I click on the vid and click pause, it'll count 2-3 seconds of it, and then I'll be sat answering comments. Does that make sense? So I try not to do that. I don't like the sound of my voice at all. I really don't. So I try, not to watch my own vids. The best vid that I've done that's still available to watch is what I'll say, because I think that the best work that I did was back on the old channels. Well, no, what I mean, entertaining-wise, I mean, you look back and you basically, my missus is the litmus test. If she laughs at something on my vid, yeah, that, I think the general public will laugh at it. Does that make sense? So, yeah, entertaining-wise, I think all the old shoots and things that I used to do in the UBW vids, at the end of the day, always have a special place in my heart. The one vid that I would say go and watch, if you want to watch me just flipping out, is I did a Royal Rumble review a while back. The people did not like this vid at all. They didn't agree with my ratings. It's the one vid that I got the most like, Mark, you're wrong here. You're absolutely wrong. And it was one of those, it could have just wrote a load of comments saying, look, this is just my opinion, all right? If you don't agree with that, awesome. But don't just go, oh, Mark, you're wrong here. Tell me why. So instead of doing that and being the mature adult that I could be, the next day I re-recorded my review. And I went into, I just thought, I'll do the complete opposite of everything I've said. So if I said on the original vid that something was a dud, I said that it was a 5-star classic, and just went over the top, and it turned into something. I'm sat there recording it, going, "This is fucking ridiculous." But keep going and keep going and keep going. So I pushed it and pushed it and pushed it, and that one I can watch back and just I can watch it as if it's someone else recording it. If that makes sense, because that one makes sense. I think it's called Alternative Rumble Review. I think it's from 2000, and I'll find it. It'll be in the description, alright? How's that sound? But yeah, that's the one that that's the first one that comes into my mind, is what I'll say. Alternative Royal Rumble. Oh, yes on. Alternative Royal Rumble 2011 thoughts, okay? From 3 years ago. And it's titled underneath, How Dare I Have My Own Opinion. So that's one of those, like, I was pissed off, but I was like, I'm going to be pissed off, but I'm going to try and use comedy to get across my message, all right? So that's exactly what I did. How's that sound? Reese Win, I think, or Wayne. Hi Mark, congrats on subscribers. We'll throw a football question out there. What do you think of Liverpool's chances this season? Personally, I think as long as we obtain Champions League football again, I think it will be viewed as a success. I have been a Liverpool fan for a very long time, as you all know, for all my sins. I think you're right, but I also think we need to bring some silver in this year. I think at least the FA Cup. I think the Charity Shield. No, there's not the Charity Shield. The what's it called? I can't remember who sponsors it. The other one, is it the Capital One Cup these days? I forget, because it changes so often. I forget that one. Obviously, I would love it if we won the Premiership. That's the one thing I always want every year. I think our performance against Manchester City the other week was one of those. Yeah, that's probably not going to happen, is it? So, yeah, I think you are right. Champions League football, so top 4 finish is a must. I really think we need some silverware this year. The Viper 4567 says, do you think Prince Divot and Kenta will do well in WWE? If so, who will be better of the two? Will the Vince couple be great? Well, we saw Kenta on NXT last night. He's changed his name to something very, very odd that I can't remember. So because I knew a comment like this would come up, I actually kept a window open of an NXT review that I was reading earlier on. And I can't find it. Do you love my vids? Oh, my vids amazing. Where is it? Oh. Another ambulance. Hideo Itami is the name. That's a bit strange, isn't it? I don't know why they couldn't have just kept Kenta, because that was a good name, and they brought him in as Kenta, and that'll just get people confused. It's like when he changed his name, there was no reaction. Like, oh, why couldn't you just Kenta? Because that was a good name. I've said before on Agor's question, it's one of those, you know, I have high hopes for them, but I can't get my hopes up too high because it's WWE and they've got a habit of fucking people up or giving them stupid. Now, I can see them giving Prince Devitt a terrible name, a terrible generic Irish name, and taking the face paint off him, taking half his moveset away from him, yada yada yada. But at the same time, look at, as we mentioned before, Shield, Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose especially, you know, it can be done. It can be done. They just need to give them the right gimmick and give them the right push. I hope they do well. I mean, I really hope Devitt does well. My match of the year is not a Devitt match. It's actually a Dragon Gate match. My second match of the year, right, that I've seen live this year was Prince Devitt versus Chris Travis at PCW. It's their second match. It was fucking phenomenal. I mean, I've tried so many times. It's been at shows that I could have gone to so many times, but it's just something's come up, which meant I couldn't go, or I didn't have the money, or no one else was going. So I've missed a bit again and again and again. It's like, right, I'm going to fucking go and see him. One of the questions I was asked on part 1 was, what's happened with PCW? It's like one of the reasons I went to 2 successive PCW shows was Devitt was booked. Like, yeah, I'll be there. You know. So yeah, I've got high hopes, but at the same time, they're not that high. How's that sound? True WWE Fan 50 says, hi Mark, we'll say, love your videos. And my question is, excuse me. Are you still going to do your WWE Raw Thoughts videos in the future? I miss those vids. Thanks for answering the question. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. It was interesting with the Raw reviews because I stopped doing them and I didn't get any comments about them. Is the simple truth. Not getting any, where's your Raw review? Nothing. So it's one of those, well, people don't give a fuck about those, do they? It's only when I didn't do a SummerSlam review, I got a lot of comments about that. A lot. Like, over 50. Where's your SummerSlam review? So I didn't watch the show, so how can I review it? Sort of thing. I talked on part 1 about, like, your view counts. And if you see a Raw review, it's like, yep, views are a bit too low this month. What I was planning on doing, here's what I was planning on doing. I was planning on reviewing the first Raw of next year. Now, I know that sounds a long time away. It's only 4 months. And then, because it's WrestleMania season, doing up until WrestleMania and seeing how I feel about that. Raw doesn't interest me at the moment. It just doesn't interest me at all. I've said before, I'd have to watch it live. I couldn't watch it the next day. So Because I'd be sitting there watching Raw, not enjoying the show, going to think about all the other things that you could be doing right now. So I'd have to watch it live, sorry, and I can't do that because, you know, the amount of fucking advert breaks on it. You know? It's hard. I want to do it. I know that there's a lot of people out there who don't watch Raw, who don't check results, who just check what I've said about it. And if I've said, look, if it's a good show, they'll go and watch it. I know, honest to God, there are people out there. And, yeah. So I feel a bit bad for them. You know, that I'm letting them down, as it were. But at the same time, it's one of those, like, I can't do it. I can't. So they'll come back one day. It may be next week. It might be next week, right? How's this sound? If Night of Champions, which I'm going to watch and review because so many people miss the SummerSlam, so it's like, so, you know, I mean, I keep track of what's happening on Raw sometimes. This week, you know, I said on part 1 of my Q&A, which I filmed on Tuesday, I hadn't checked this week's Raw results. No, I have, and it's like, I know roughly what's going on, and that's that. But if I'll watch and review Night of Champions, alright, and we'll see how we feel about that. How's that sound? Andrew T asks loads of questions. Really, it says on the vid, one question. So, yeah, you've asked loads. So, if Sting would face Trick Taker, how do you think WWE would start the feud? Like when Triple H and Taker looked at the Mania sign is your top question, and that's the one you're getting asked. Answered, sorry. Yeah, I think something like that. I think having one or the other coming out to the ring, and then being interrupted by the other one, and exactly that. You know, don't say anything, just fine. Happy days are here again. You know, that's exactly how I book it. I mean, to the letter, that's how I book it. Walkerman 404 says, Mark, which with a C? Which brand do you think it almost comes across like people have watched part 1, whereas mocking people have put him with a K in every single one. What brand do you think put on the best product from 2002 2005, Raw or SmackDown? That's an interesting one, because in 2003 you'd say that SmackDown put on the best product. In 2004 and 5 you'd say Raw put on the best product. So yeah, if you've got to do by year, 2002 probably SmackDown, just about, yeah. But yeah, so SmackDown, Raw, half and half. Happy days. King of Crime. King of Crime 87 says, hi Mark, with a C. I recall you saying you watched Doctor Who. Is this the case? What do you think of Peter Capaldi in the role? Keep up the good work, dude. Yes, big Doctor Who fan. I discovered Doctor Who in 2010 at the worst possible time, because it was Christmas 2010, and the Christmas Doctor Who was on, and there was no one else in the house because I was with my girlfriend and her families, and they'd gone to visit some other. Please, Carl. Bear with me, Jonathan. They're all going the same way. Sorry about that. I want to show you this. Look, I even have a sonic screwdriver. And like, yeah, I watched the Christmas Doctor Who in 2010, which I later learned that it was David Tennant's last one. So I watched that, and I actually really enjoyed it. And I'm sat there thinking, you know, I wouldn't mind watching some more of this. And I discovered that they're all, was it on Netflix at the time or something else that I saw? We had a BT box. And we found that all the episodes of Doctor Who up until that point were on there. And you're like, right, okay, let's go watch more. So I sat the missus down and said, look, would you watch this for me? And she got into it. And yeah, so we were able to go watch back 3 or 4 series worth. And then we've watched it ever since, really. I think it's too early to judge with Peter Capaldi, because at this moment, as you're watching this, this is being recorded on the Friday, there's been 3 episodes with Peter Capaldi. And you know, you could watch this in a year's time and there'd be a whole series with them. What I'll say is the first 2 I didn't particularly enjoy. The third one, the Robin Hood one, I actually really, really enjoyed. That was fun. That was a fun episode. The thing with Doctor Who is I haven't enjoyed it for quite a while. It's the truth. I didn't like the majority of. No, that's not fair. There was every so often with Matt Smith there'd be a really good episode, but it'd be surrounded by rubbish ones, you know. And I didn't like his last episode at all. That did nothing for me. Whereas the 50th one I really enjoyed. Yeah, I think it's too early to judge, is what I'll say. Dries Berens. Hi Mark, with a C. My question to you, what wrestle maneuver always looks shit? Always looks shit. As in, you know, you think, oh, that's crap. Fucking Canadian Destroyer. Always looks shit. Always. You know, Because it does, right, you start going, the fuck, man, the Canadian Destroyer is one of the best moves ever, right? And it is the most spectacular looking move. But if you're treating this sport like it's real, yeah, Canadian Destroyer, no, and no again. You can't do a Destroyer. You just can't, because it's the most unrealistic looking move there's ever been. If you don't mean, if not, when you just, if you think what a shit move is, the Worm. Worm's a shit move. You know? I was looking at Fantasio the other day. Remember his fucking wedgie of death? Fucking managed to pull someone's pants out. Not just give him a wedgie, but pull out. That shit. The high knee is shit. No. Let me think. Shit looking moves. I can't think of one off the top of my head that always looks shit. And of course, it's another one of those times where I was sat there in an hour's time when I'm on the motorway going, oh, no, it's gone. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't think of one. Hogan's fucking leg drop. No, because that works. It's an effective move. I'm thinking of what a just shit move, but what looks shit. I can't think of anything. No, I can't. Do you know what always looks shit? Two moves, right? The fucking Steiner recliner looks terrible, because if the arms aren't back, it just looks like you've got holding them by the chin, and you're going, that wouldn't hurt. The other one, of course, always looks shit, is the no pressure STF that John Cena does. That move looks like it could not hurt you. The only part that could hurt you is where he's got your leg hooked. That could hurt you a little bit. But the way that he puts the no pressure on under the chin at all, it looks terrible. It looks so bad. They are. Ah, you see. Aha. CM Drunk 316. Who would you like to see in TNA Boot Camp? Well, I already know who's in TNA Boot Camp. So it's one of those, look, who... So, you know, Grado and Mandrews, Dave Mastiff, people like that are people who I put in boot camp. So they're always, there's a few more, but I won't spoil it for you. But yeah, people like them, you know, talented workers who I know can work. Mandrews, if you haven't seen Mark Andrews, he is one of the best high flyers in this country, and his reverse runner is pretty damn sexy. Dave Mastiff, I've never seen have a bad match. For a big guy, my God, he can shift. His beard is wonderful. And Grado is just pure entertainment. He's so entertaining. He needs to work on his body if he wants to get the job in America. But yeah, that's what I would say. Mr. My Wrestling. So my Mr. Wrestling says, thoughts on Muhammad Hassan's gimmick? Risky one, wasn't it, that one? You know, doing the terrorist thing in 2005 as well. Not cool, that. He was alright on the stick. They took it too far, basically. Because the initial concept of it was great. Is that he's an American Iraqi, isn't he, or something like that? So he's like, yeah, the initial thing of, look, you're booing me, but I'm from the same country as you. You boo me because I've got this on my head. That was brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant, because it was so true. You know, Americans are so USA when it comes to wrestling. That, well, in life as well, going on the Americans that I've met. Let's not dwell on that one. Because that one's a whole other story, isn't it? Jesus Christ. Once got into an argument with a guy in Barcelona, right, who would not have it that America is not the greatest country in the world. He was so patriotic. The fact that me and my brother even dared to say, well, America's pretty shit, really, isn't it? You know, he wanted to fight us both at that moment, because we just wouldn't back down on it. And he wouldn't back down. I was like, oh, America's the greatest. Bollocks. Straight up bollocks. It's not the greatest country ever, is it? Because of this and this and this. I won't go into that one now, but yeah, that was fun, and that's happened quite a few times in my life. That's just completely thrown me. The point is that, yeah, you have an American guy come out with a turban on, and you hate him. You know, you have an American guy come out wearing Russian clothing and speaking in a heavily Russian accent, hate him. You know, it's USA. So yeah, to say things like that, which was very cutting and very true and very relevant, because that's how it is on the streets, was great. When they took it too far, it's like, kidnapped Undertaker, get away from my fucking TV, get away. TWK reviews. You'll actually remember the one question limit this time, you bastard. You see, people ignored it still, dude. TWK reviews. Anyways, with it being Doctor Who season, what actor has impressed you the least as the Doctor? The least? Shit, man. I've not seen enough of the old Doctors to make a fair comparison of that. So there's Peter Davidson I love for them. I've seen a lot of his, but then, and I've seen a lot of Tom Baker's, but then Colin Baker, I've not seen any of his episodes apart from the first one. And so, you come off the first one and how arrogant he is, and you go, God, that guy's going to be a dick. I've not seen enough of his. So I don't really think I can answer that question, is what I'll say. I think all of we can't judge what Piccoli. I don't think Matt Smith did a great job. I think David Tennant was my Doctor in my heart. That's who the Doctor is, because he conveyed the darkness of the Doctor so well, because he was so jumpy around and happy and everything. Oh, fantastic! Like Eccleston was in some respects, but at the same time, when he got serious and when he got dark, Tennant was the best. You believe that he was the Time Lord, whereas I've not felt that with anyone before or since. Does that make sense? Regarding Where, I can't say. I haven't seen enough of the old ones. I'm a strictly new Who. I've gone back and watched some of the old Doctor Who's, and for me, the thing is, because I'm so used to the new Who's, which are an hour long, it's difficult to watch a 4-part serial, because that's what they were. They were 4-part serials. So one story will be 4 parts in half-an-hour blocks, so it's 2 hours, and because of that time frame, they're very, very slow. Because the new Who's are so fast, you've got to get the premise in the first 10 minutes. This is the bad guy, this is what he's doing, this is where the Doctor is. That would have taken half an hour on the old ones, and it feels so, of course at the time it was like, this is the greatest, but it feels so slow to go back and watch it. At the same time, the flip side, of course, is that when the stories are good, when they're well done, they're breathtakingly brilliant. And the flimsy acting, the flimsy costumes and the flimsy sets don't make any difference at all. This is good. Okay, how's that sound? In your opinion, what is the best crowd WWE has ever had? Says Matthew Clough, number 3. I think the first one that comes into my head is actually the SummerSlam 92 crowd, because it was fucking huge. I mean, it was absolutely massive. It was absolutely massive, and the fans were into everything. Because we're so bloody wrestling starved, they loved every single thing that happened, didn't they? So, and of course they all bought lots and lots of merchandise. So yeah, that sort of crowd, for me, is one. I think any time they're at Madison Square Garden, it always makes me smile, because the crowd are always brilliant there. But yeah, that's the first one that comes into my head. How's that one sound? The Raven, 9361, says, Yo, Mark with a C, been a fan since 08 from your bathroom days of shorting from the horse's mouth. Oh, sorry, I answered that the other day. I do apologise. JCDC says, what got you into supporting Liverpool? From a follow red. See, a lot more, vague spectrum of questions there. I'm born in 1982, as some of you know, which makes me 32 years old. And my dad is from Manchester, and my mum is from Liverpool. That makes it fun. I grew up in a little town called Macclesfield, which is south of Manchester. So I look back at it and I feel like I had no choice in what team I supported. So there are photos of me as a Manchester United fan, because everyone else was. I have Manchester United shirts, but I have no recollection of asking for them. Does that make sense? So I just assumed that I must have them, because I wanted to be like all the other kids. That changed when I started at high school, which was in 1993. I'm old, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was one of those, look, I don't want to be like that anymore. And so a lot of people supported Manchester United there, and I said, no, I want to support someone else. And it was I looked around at various teams, and I'm like, who do I want to support? It's like, well, Liverpool are having a bit of a low patch at the moment, but they could get back up again. So when that does, I'm going to be right there ready to support them. So that was my thinking at the time. I was 11. Think about that. So yeah, and I've supported them ever since. I bought my first Liverpool shirt. I actually bought it myself. No, I didn't. I asked for a Christmas present off my dad. The 1995 home shirt, and it hangs on my wall now. It's like one of the few that I've got left from that time. And yeah, I've supported them ever since. The RV1HD says, do you believe that Roman Reigns is the current choice to move forward with as the face of the company? Dean Ambrose is clearly the better all-round entertainer out of the 3 Shield members, but Reigns gets the top push. Also, with Reigns being positioned as the guy, where on earth did that leave Daniel Bryan upon returning? Could the fans' love for Bryan lead to resentment for Reigns? Cheers, Mark with a C. Keep up the good work. I think you are right. I think Ambrose is the more complete package. Reigns is big, and Vince loves big guys. I mean, it really is, when it all boils down to it. The other thing is, the Daniel Bryan thing. Is it fair to say, you put there, where does that leave Daniel Bryan upon returning, right? Will he definitely come back? Let's throw that one out there. Do you think that Daniel Bryan is definitely coming back? I mean, this surgery that he's having, he's out for another, what, another 3 months at least. So that's Rumble time, isn't it? Oh, how coincident. You know, it might be that he, you know, can't come back. He might, excuse me, desire not to. You know, he might have carefully saved his money over the years. I mean, he's been in WWE for, you know, 3 or 4 years now, hasn't he? Probably not making main event money, but he's probably making a decent wage. Especially in the last couple of years with the yes merchandise and the no merchandise and all that. If he's been careful, you know, does he want to come back? Is the desire to come back there? Maybe he'll just go, look, you know, just fuck it. Maybe I can just keep my health. Because after a year out, which will be almost, won't it, of this, maybe not. Maybe it's not worth it. Maybe at least to present him for WrestleMania. I don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know. Is the thing about that, about resentment for him. I mean, it's all will they do it? Will they be Gold Reigns as the guy? Will they go with Ambrose as the guy? Will they go with Rollins as the guy? Who knows? I mean, Rollins has still got the money in the bank, hasn't he? We don't know what's going to happen with that. Excuse me a second, a little bit warm. 3 emergency vehicles, man. When do you ever get 3 in one bed? Jesus! Kieran Lucas. Hi Mark, congratulations. I'm sorry, I didn't answer that question very well. I apologise. That's one of those ones that I struggle with. Hey Mark, congratulations on the subscribers. With the WWE Network coming to UK, is it possible we could get some old NWA WCW reviews? Is that you, Jerry? Yeah, basically, yeah. I'll be getting the network as soon as it comes out on my sexy box. And yeah, one of the things I'll probably explore next year is, well, I'll be doing a great, well, I've told Jerry, the Coal Miner's Glove, the mini guinea, I've told him that the first thing I'll review on the network is the Great American Bash 89, because he's wanted me to review that show for fucking years, and I really do mean that years. He's been asking for it, and I've always said I'll review it if I can get a complete copy of it that's not sent, because you can find them on YouTube, but it's just the matches. There's no build packages, there's nothing of the in-betweens, you know, there's only one match at a time or something like that. I want to watch it top to bottom, uncensored, uncut, as it was. Alright, with the network, I can do that. And I think, Scott Keith said that the first thing he watched on the network was that show. First thing, and it's like, right, okay, that's the first thing I'm going to watch. So I want to review that, but at the same time I'm thinking is like, wouldn't you rather review the whole year? So it could be an idea to go through it in order, you know? It's very warm today. Very warm. But yeah, you'll be getting old school reviews. Like next year, I've said on the part 1 of this Q&A, I really want to do Gundam in 99 series again. What I'd also like to do is 1995, because one of the questions that, we haven't got it on this one, but one of the ones we get quite a lot is there a time when you stopped watching wrestling? And I always say, yeah, I watched WrestleMania in 1995. The rest of the year, I didn't watch anything, because I just couldn't bring myself to do it. It's kind of like how it is now, you know? And it's so, I'd love to go back and watch, because I'll be watching it for the first time, and that interests me quite a lot. So yeah, that's that. Autonomy Influencers. Hi Mark, with a C, just like the last Q&A back in May. My question is about your favourite wrestling subject, psychology. Although I consider myself to be fairly knowledgeable about wrestling psychology, largely thanks to watching your videos since the old days of late 2007. Wow, amazing. I just look at 7 years of me. I'm shit. There is one aspect that puzzles me. When wrestlers work over an arm or a leg, it's usually the left one instead of the right. Sometimes, when the circumstance calls for it, they will work the right side, but more often than not, it's the left one that's worked on. Is there any particular reason why the left side gets worked on the majority of the time? Congratulations on earning 16,000 subscribers. Hope many more to come. Keep up the awesome work you do, and cheers for what is likely one of the few American viewers you receive. That is a very good... Jesus, I get so few American views, you wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it. Honestly, it's all... England, Ireland and Canada, and the majority of my views come from, and Italy, which is weird, and Russia, and Australia, which is nice. And, you know, Germany, right, check this out, I just need to point this out. Germany, in Germany, German viewers watch every video I make, right, start to finish. Remember I said before, we have the audience retention graphs, yeah? We also get breakdowns here on YouTube of where the so, you know, it'll say UK X amount, Ireland X amount of the vid. You can do it vid by vid basis, yeah? Germany, yeah, every vid, 100%. All the people who watch me in Germany, say there's 200 people a month watch me in Germany, they watch video from start to finish. If you're watching this, German people, thank you. That's amazing. If more of my viewers could do that, it would make me so happy. Seriously, guys, if I can't stress anything enough, yeah, watch the vid from start to finish. Even if, right, do me this, right, if you're watching the vid and going, this is boring, mute it, go and open another browser window and go and do something else, because it makes such a difference. It really, really does. YouTube looks at your audience retention, right, and says, oh, that guy's got high retention, so he must be making good bids. We'll publicise him. We'll put him in the recommendation boxes and things like that. Also, we'll put higher revenue earning video adverts on his videos, which makes it better for me. We'll always watch the whole video. Always, always, always. If you can do that for me. I'm right-handed, as I'm sure lots of people are. So I punch with my right hand. So if you work with my left, yeah, you're working the arm. Oh no, you can't. I can't use my arm, but I can still make my comeback with my right hand. And I promise you, it is that simple. That's all it is. It's all there is to it. You're right, working with the left, and trust me on this one. If you spotted that they work the left, yeah. So what it means is that if someone puts a move on the right leg, you go, wrong side. And then you can also spot it when they go, oh, look, he swapped it over because he realised it's on the right, on the wrong leg. It's always, always, always the left as you spot. It's well spotted. Honestly, that is well spotted. Or if you've picked up on that because that's what I've said, fucking yes, well done. Yeah, that's a big tick for you. That's a big thumbs up. Well done. Yeah, it's always the left, and it's honestly, it's as simple as it's because the majority of people are right-handed, so they can make the comebacks with their right hand. Does that make sense? It means because you've still got your injured body part, yeah, but it's this one that you're doing all the work with. This one hangs down. Oh, you know, Jesus Christ, it hurts. You know, it's that simple. It honestly, I asked a wrestler about this to get your answer. I asked a wrestler that I know and said, why is this? And because I'm searching this really complicated, really carny reason. It's like because I'm right-handed. Like, really? That's it. It's that simple. Yeah, it's that simple. Like, fuck's sake, dude. Went to another, because I'm like, no, he can't breathe. Went to another wrestler. Like, dude, is this right? Yep, that's bang on. Like, fuck's sake. Mr. Jimmy Crack Hall. Well done, Autonomy Influence. That's also a great name. But also, yeah, more people. I wish I could talk about wrestling psychology for days. Let me tell you something. I'm sorry, Mr. Jimmy Crack Hall, but I want to go on about this one for a second. I went to a Shropshire Wrestling Alliance show. If you've seen podcast number 2, we talked about this on there. No one watched it. It got 200 views, but yeah, we did a podcast for it afterwards, and they had a match. You got the champion, right? Open challenge. Guy called, his name's Joey Sanchez, babyface. Open challenge. A guy called Marc Morgan comes out, and they brawl. They brawl on the ring, beat the shit out of each other. But then, yeah, got in the ring, and every move that Morgan did on Sanchez was on the left arm, and I mean. Everyone, check this out. This is incredible. I hope you're marking out for this, because I fucking did. Did the Undertaker's old school, right? And then, as he gets to the top of the ropes, yeah, kicks Joey Sanchez in the chest. So he goes down and does a fucking leg drop, springboard leg drop off the ropes onto the arm. And it's like, that's amazing. And then, the reason I'm telling you this is Sanchez solved the arm like a fucking boss. I mean, absolute boss. His match was the first one on in the second half. They had another match, and then there was a kid on the front row near us who it was his birthday, so he got up and Joey Sanchez came out and gave him a cake and little things like that. Sanchez comes out, the arm's hanging down. Doesn't need to, the arm's hanging down, right? And he's holding the cake with one hand, gives the boy the cake, and do you know what he does? Oh, he does this. On the second clap, he stops clapping for that boy's birthday. The second clap, he stops, holds the arm. I'm sat there going. To the point where I don't do this anymore. I got on Facebook when I got home and found him, which took us a while because Joey Sanchez isn't his real name. Found him on Facebook and sent him a message to him. That was perfect. You've just found a fan in me. And I love that. I love psychology. It's fucking great. Mr. Jimmy Crackhaw, thank you for waiting, says, hi Mark, with a C. Firstly, thank you for all the vids you make. You always manage to make me laugh. I think my wife is slightly sick of me joining in with the quad-ripping spinebuster of doom. Ah! Excellent. Do you know, people come up to me and say that. People come up to me at wrestling shows and say that with a great big smile on their face, a quad-ripping spinebuster of doom. And I sit there going, yeah, and walk away. It's like, why are you saying that? No, it is nice of them, but they're saying, well, right, if I'm just saying, someone's got, right, have you seen the Father Ted episode where Richard Wilson's in it? And Ted goes up to Richard Wilson and says, I don't believe it. And Richard Wilson punches him in the face quite lightly for it. It's just a bloody catchphrase. You know, don't do that. It's one of those things that come and say hello and I love your vid. Don't just walk up to me and go, quad-ripping spinebuster of doom. Because I normally start conversations with hi. weird person would walk away. And then start again. And then they go, oh, Mark Pitts is a dick. It's like, what did you say to me? Favourite WWE rivalry? Oh God, Mike, sorry, I haven't answered your question. My question, do you feel there is... Imagine if I'd just gone on your side again, dude, you didn't answer the question. My question is, do you feel there's any place left for the classic Survivor Series matches in today's product? If so, how would you book this year's? I don't think the Survivor Series is anything special these days. It used to be one of the big four, didn't it? Now, it's just another pay-per-view because the Survivor Series match. Battery died on the... No, sorry, it ran out. You can only record for an hour. So, yeah, that's fun, isn't it? But, yeah, we've only got 12 questions left. So what we're going to do is we'll answer yours, Jimmy, and then we'll go through the rest, and that'll be that, all right? How's that sound? So, yeah, Survivor Series we were talking about before the battery died, or whatever it was. It used to be the big four. It used to be the big four shows. They were Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. They added King of the Ring, and then they added all the Indie House ones. It became just a normal show. There was outrage when they said they were getting rid of the Survivor Series, and I think I was one of the few people who just went, and it's just another pay-per-view. Pay-per-view names change all the time. It doesn't matter. It really, really doesn't matter. I believe there is not a place in today for the Survivor Series. I really don't. Remember a couple of years ago they did, which one was it? Was it Night of Champions that was Raw versus SmackDown and 5-on-5 or 10-on-10 or something like that? So you have to pay for you like that. Like, the Survivor Series is irrelevant. It doesn't mean anything anymore, the Survivor Series doesn't. It's just another show, in my opinion. Junior Rocks 2012 says, what is your favourite WWE rivalry? I want to say Austin versus Rock, but Austin versus McMahon, I'm watching 98 at the moment, and it's so good. It is so, so good. It's so, so wonderful. So yeah, Austin McMahon is more of my favourite. Seamus Delane says, apart from Montreal Screwjob and Hogan's heel turn, what is the most controversial moment in wrestling history? Please don't say Punk's pipe bomb. Well, Punk's pipe bomb, maybe. What's the most controversial? When Vince McMahon admitted that wrestling wasn't real, is what I'll say. When he coined the phrase sports entertainment. You know, I think that was it, personally. Something like that. That's, you know, that's... Fuck the Montreal Screwjob, yeah, he fucked over a wrestler, one wrestler. You know, admitting that this whole thing isn't real. Yeah, that's a bit controversial. How does that sound? Or Punk's pipe bomb. Joking, it's not. Daniel Johnson, which wrestlers do you think are the most unfairly treated by the WWE? Love the vids. I've been watching the vids for over 4 years now. Fucking hey, 4 years. Someone like Ricky Steamboat is the first one that springs to my mind. Okay, I haven't given this one any thought. First one that springs to my mind. Wife's just had a baby. Can I have some time off to come be with my baby? Yeah, you can. But you're dropping the towel and you're being fired. Like, right. He just won the IC title. I mean, it's one of those, like, they shouldn't put the fucking belt on him. And then, you know, the thing is, the reason I'm saying it like that is that, yeah, he came back, WrestleMania 4, I mean, just nothing. And then they brought him back again, and he was the Dragon. So, you know, it's Vince holds a grudge on shit like that. When he could have, like, this is Ricky Steamboat, he's amazing. Look at the matches he's putting on with Flair. They could put on matches like that for your company, and you're just being a bitter cunt. How does that one sound? I think Dawn Marie getting fired when she was pregnant was a bit of a shit can thing to do. You know, that's very mean. We're all one big happy family. Unless you get pregnant, then you go, fuck off. You know? So yeah, they're ones that spring to mind. I hope that answers your question. Caliph Jammer, thoughts on Christian? Christian was a decent worker. Or is a decent worker. I think he should retire personally. Work as a road agent or go to be a trainer at NXT or something like that, because he can talk. But I think he's a bit old. I mean, he's the same age as me, I think. He might even be older than me now I think about it. You know, and so, you know, no, I like him as a worker. I was overjoyed when he won the championship because it was one of those about time sort of things. I always felt he was the, you know, the weaker one of Edge and Christian. But then when he did his heel turn in 2001, you start looking at it going, yeah, all right, this could work. Yeah, this could work. And then, he's always like with Edge in 2004, what I'm reviewing at the moment. He hasn't changed. There's nothing different. So when you get in 2002 and he's working in the tag match with the Un-Americans and he tagged up with Jericho, he's like going, you need something else to break out, don't you? So yeah, I think he was an underrated worker by what I'll say. But at the same time, I don't think there's anything that special. Does that make sense? But he's a good talker. He is good on the stick. Foxstar Killer. Well, since you and I are both huge fans of The Rock, my question to you is this. Of all the matches The Rock had in his career, including when he was Rocky Maivia, which ones do you personally consider to be the worst, the best, most overrated, most underrated, and your personal favourite in the all time? in that order, which is lots of questions, isn't it, to be fair. Right, best Rock match. My favourite Rock match is a match at Backlash 2000, okay, versus Triple H. That match is fantastic. Worst versus Billy Gunn, SummerSlam 1999. Most overrated. A Rock match that is overrated. That's one that people really like that I don't. No idea, not a clue. Most underrated. Not a clue. Personal favourite of all time. We've already answered. So yeah, I don't know. Is the thing. I'm not sure about that one because most overrated. I mean, I can't. No match at this moment in time, right? No match of his that I can think. Oh, everyone thinks that's a classic match, and it was shit. You know, there's none that I can think of off the top of my head that come back to me. No, I can't. There's nothing that really. I mean, when I just said his worst one was Billy Gunn, I actually think it's one of. You remember his WrestleMania? WrestleMania 13, is it? When he fought the Sultan. That was shockingly shit, wasn't it? Wasn't it? But then overrated. I've not a clue. I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. I just haven't got a clue. Aaron the Maryland Wolves says, congratulations on the 16,000 subscribers, 1,600. God, why do you keep saying that? 1,600 is easier. So keep up the good bids. My question is, if the Ultimate Warrior and Sting traded companies back in the late 80s, do you think Sting would have been a better star in the WWE? And the same with Warrior in WCW. Because I think the fans would accept him just as much as they did with Warrior, and the same would have gone for Warrior if he went to WCW. We could have got Sting and Hogan for WrestleMania, which would have been every Mark's dream match back in the day. First of all, I don't think we would have got the Sting versus Hogan dream match, because, think about it, we could have had the Hogan-McFlair dream match and it didn't happen. It happened on the house show circuit, but it never happened on WrestleMania, which was always a weird one. But the house show circuit, they didn't draw. The advertised matches, Hogan versus Flair, no one cared. Because it was one of those outsider things, I think. So, I don't know, is the truth. I mean, Sting was the better wrestler, but Warrior had the charisma at the time, didn't he? I'm not saying that Sting wasn't charismatic, not by a long stretch, but Warrior was so charismatic, wasn't he? I don't know. I mean, it's one of those, you know, it didn't happen, so I can't really think it, kind of. I mean, Hogan versus Sting, I don't think would have been. Hogan Sting at Starrcade '97 worked because of the NWO, didn't it? And they were destroying everything, and they needed someone to stand up for WCW, and that person was Sting, and they teased it for so very long that when it eventually got down to the match, it was like, oh my god, this is going to be incredible, and it wasn't. But I mean, goody Sting versus goody Hogan, no, I don't think that would have worked at all, personally. Rams fan 086 says, what is the first time you actually shot? Really sorry about that. This time the battery died. Spare camera. Spare camera, brilliant. Rams fan 086 says, when was the first time you were actually shocked or sucked in emotionally by the angle or match that took place, or by an angle, sorry, or match that took place in wrestling? This is a tricky one for me, because it's one of those times where the lines are a bit blurred up here in the old memory banks. I started watching wrestling at a ridiculously young age. I used to watch World of Sport, apparently, with my dad. I don't remember it, but apparently I did. I don't remember exactly when it was I got into the WF, or how I got into the WF. You know, I've got my ring here. So that's from, you've got Sergeant Slaughter, for example, so at 91. And I've got videotapes of WrestleManias 7, 8, and 9 that recorded off the telly in there somewhere. So I couldn't tell you exactly what it was. Anyway, the point is that my first memory of wrestling, I swear, is Hogan doing a stretcher job after being busted open with a chair, as far as I know. I don't know when it was. It could have been any time. It really could. But I was talking about this with a friend recently. I was saying, you know, one of the things that's really burned on my mind, now I think about it, I said this at the time, now I think about it, is when the snake bit Randy Savage. Because that was legitimately scary for a kid. I was under 10, I must have been. So it was one of those, fucking Christ, you know, that has lived on in my mind for so long. OOC said, when OSW reviewed it, that the show that was from, that they wouldn't have done this now. They wouldn't have done this in the Attitude Era. This was, you know, over the top scary shit. So that, for me, Rams fan, is probably the best answer I can give you on that one. Josh Stockton says, hi Mark, we'll see. Congratulations on the 1,600 subscribers. Been a fan of yours for years. I heard strong rumours there are plans to Roman Reigns to beat Brock Lesnar and win the title at WrestleMania 31. There have also been rumours that Lesnar may not renew his contract after that. Do you think it would be a good idea for WWE to turn Reigns heel on the night by having Heyman screw Lesnar out of the title and help Reigns win? I personally think this would be a great idea, as I'm not convinced by Reigns on the mic. That, friend, is a great point. And I think if he could be pushed, he desperately needs a mouthpiece. Keep up the good work, dude. Cheers. Oh man, that's such a good point. One of the things about the Shield, one of the great things, genuinely great things about the Shield is they kept Reigns' what he said to a minimum. Believe that. Believe in the Shield. You know, it was Ambrose and Rollins who cut the promos. That, my friend, is a great idea to turn Reigns heel and put him with someone. When you say turn him heel, do you mean like Survivor Series 02, which we talked about earlier on, when Heyman shafted Lesnar and sided with Big Show for reasons, you know, reasons. You know, yeah, I think it's the thing that if it was me, it would be the thing. We were talking before about Ambrose being the complete package actions here. So yeah, I think that's the bit that Reigns is let down by. Great body, all the girls love him, great moveset, yada yada yada. Apparently, as far as I know, I haven't seen him wrestle for a while, but he might have changed it since he left the Shield, but I doubt it. But yeah, that's the one bit that I felt when I last saw him that was lacking. 1, 2, 3, 4 left. Mac Dad's 69. For me, for you, what is the most overrated WrestleMania match the last 5 years? The Taker versus Lesnar one from this year. I said on the night that I think I did on my review, like, people will love this. I thought it was boring. Thought it was really, really boring match. Apparently, Taker had a concussion. I can understand that. Didn't know that at the time when I reviewed it. So it's one of those, look, this match was not very good. Loads and loads of people I saw on Twitter especially saying that was the best match ever. It's like lies. Straight lies. Dean M. Hi Mark, with a C. What are your thoughts on Power Slam no longer being a monthly magazine? As a long-time buyer, I was upset to hear it. Do you read any other wrestling-related magazines? Love the vid and great content. Come with me. I'll show you something, Dean. Come with me. Let me show you something. We'll go through a wander through mine house. Yes. I'm going to say, oh, sorry. Just let me show you something first. Hey! Hello guys. I'm going to sleep. Come with me. Harry Potter. Let me show you something. I'm doing some renovation in my house at the moment. So at the moment, in the hall is, can you see those? You see those? Yes. From issue 36 there, right? And then from around here, there's from issue 80, that's issue 100 there, right? Issue 100. And I've got all the way, they go to 220 there. And they're all in number order. Power Slam was a big part of my youth, of my growing up days. Okay? So I thought you might want to see that. That's nice, isn't it? To answer your question, Power Slam, Power Slam issue 237 was the last one. And I bought that because it was the last one, but between 220 and 237 I didn't buy it at all. There was a number of things. There was such a negative magazine, I felt. Everything was shit, according to Power Slam, unless it was Japanese. Japanese wrestling is the greatest thing ever, but it was, they'd have one page for the Japanese stuff and the rest of it would be WWE. So to tell me that for fucking 30 pages that WWE isn't very good was one of those, you know, they are doing good things. They hate Cena, for example. They don't give Cena any credit for anything, whereas even I will give Cena credit for certain things. I read FSM now. I had a subscription to Power Slam for the majority of that time. Like I say, I've got issue 80 to 220. And they're intact, they're all in mint condition, they've always been kept something like that away from dust and things that could damage them and shit like that. I've always thought they'd be my nest egg, is the truth. I always thought one day I'll sell all those in bulk and someone will give me a ridiculous amount of money for them. I don't think that's actually going to be the case. You see them on eBay going for like 2-3 quid and you're like, right, okay, they're just going to sit there, aren't they? But they're great reading, honestly, they're good reading. If you really, I don't know about if you do this, Dean, but what I like to do is once a year, I like to sit down with the first issue I've got and basically read through them all. Because there's little things that you find, I've said this story before, you find in the September 1997 issue that there's rumours of a new faction being created with Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Chyna and Rick Rude, and you go, yeah, that'll never happen. You know, next thing you know, DX is about. You know, little things like that I love to do. I got a subscription to Power Slam years ago, years and years, and it was like a birthday or Christmas present. It was just one of those things you instantly renew. And then one day I decided I didn't want this anymore. I want to start. I've got a subscription to FSM, so I had a subscription to FSM for about a year. And it's one of the things that I keep meaning to renew and then kept forgetting to. One of the main things for me is that FSM has 6 pages devoted to British wrestling. They have the one to watch. They have all the shows that have happened. So even if you're not that much of a fan of Britrest, if you read FSM, if you're the type of person who reads it cover to cover, you're at least aware of what's going on or who the person to watch is. Or, I mean, say for example yourself, you could pick it up and go, oh, this month's got Tyler Bate, and oh, Mark P likes Tyler Bate. I've heard him talk about Tyler Bate a few times. Oh, he's pretty good. Oh, what's that? He's on a show that's near me. I'll go and see that. Because that's what I always want. If I ever talk about British wrestling, I want you to go and see it. I was talking to a guy on Facebook the other day. Got this, the generic adds me on Facebook, bombards me with questions. Can't stand it. Cannot stand it. Please don't do this. 20 questions at least about my life, and with the oh my god, I can't believe I'm talking to Mark Pierce. Like, yeah, I'm just a regular guy, dude. I play me with the volume turned up on YouTube, just a generic regular guy. Told me he's a passionate wrestling fan, lives in Liverpool. I'm like, so you go to Infinite Promotions, don't you? What's that? And he's like, Infinite Promotions, the local wrestling promotion in Liverpool. They're really big, they're massive, they're really, really good, really, really good. I've never heard of them. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, man. So you've got no excuse, So I tell him, look, this is when it is. This is the next show. Go. Oh, it's the next show's on November the 8th. I'm going to Raw on November the 10th. And you're just going. So I said to him straight out this, why are you going to Raw? And I said to him, before you answer that, let me tell you why I don't go to Raw. The tickets he's bought are £60, all right, 60 quid. And you'll get one good match if you're lucky, maybe 2. And his answer, look at this, brilliant. But not if Daniel Bryan's there. Daniel Bryan won't be there. Why not? Because he's injured. Passionate wrestling fan. I'm sat there going, you go to one Infinite Promotion show, it'll cost you £10, you'll see at least 2 good matches. Explain to me why you don't never heard of it. It's like, that's not good enough, is it? You're meant to be a passionate wrestling fan, idiot. Yeah, so the FSM with the Britrest, 6 pages, I think they're much better, they're much more of a positive magazine, and they have features on old British guys that I absolutely adore reading. I think their writing style's really good. Chris Brooker, who's one of my favourite comedians, writes for them. FSM is a good magazine, so that's what I read nowadays. Gavin Smith, 2 more. I like this question. Hi Mark, love the vids. My question is, seen as though Dave Meltzer has only given 5 WWE matches his ultimate 5-star rating, which match in your opinion, is the greatest out of the lot? Okay, so these are the ones that Meltzer has given 5 stars. Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon from WrestleMania 10. Bret Hart versus Owen Hart from the cage match from SummerSlam 94. So he gave out 2 5-star matches in 1994. Bret Hart versus Steve Austin in the submission match from WrestleMania 13. Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker, Hell in a Cell, in Your House by Blood, also in 1997. And then he didn't give out one for 4 years. Sorry, for fucking 14 years, sorry. John Cena versus CM Punk, Money in the Bank, WWE Championship in 2011. Wow, that man must be very hard to please. I don't know much about Meltzer. I hear the name, don't really know anything about him. Other than the fact that he makes his living talking about wrestling, but doesn't wrestle, which means that he's the greatest worker in the business. I think Ric Flair said that, or someone like that. Of those, my favourite is Bret versus Austin in the submission match. Even though I will say until I'm blue in the face and until the cows really do actually come home, that I preferred their match at Survivor Series 96. I thought that was a better match, personally. But yeah, of those 5, and they're all good matches in their own right, it's the one from WrestleMania 13, the only good match at WrestleMania 13. We were just talking about WrestleMania 13 a moment ago. Yes, we were. Last question! Chopper Carwin says, do you watch Wrestle Talk TV? I never watched it due to the highly irritating man called Joel Ross, but now I can watch it. What are your thoughts? So if anyone is watching this who lives in America, so there will be at least one, as we talked about down below. Wrestle Talk TV is a thing that's on there's a TV. I'm sorry to my British people watching this. We know what Challenge is. There's a TV station called Challenge which broadcasts TNA Impact on a Sunday, and afterwards there's an hour-long show called Wrestle Talk TV, which when it was announced, everyone went, oh yeah, and I was talking about wrestling. One problem, there's a guy who presents it, his name is Joel Ross, and he's a dick. And I couldn't watch it because of Joel Ross. It's not just Joel Ross. Patrick Lennon, who also is one of the hosts of it, is A brilliant, brilliant journalist. I'll never take anything away from his journalistic things. His written articles are brilliant. He is so boring. Such a boring man. He hasn't got any charisma at all on the screen. And they all normally have some birds on it who I don't know, and you just go, oh. They have the wrestling superfan, who I think is meant to be a joke, but isn't funny. Joel Ross makes it come across like he doesn't know a thing about wrestling at all, and he's not funny. I'll tell you a little story about Joel Ross, if I may. I went to see the Jim Cornette live tour earlier this year, and I knew it was hosted by Wrestle Talk, and it's like, oh, maybe I'll get Alex Shane to do it. And when Joel Ross came out, my heart sank. I mean, it sank. It was like, this guy is a dick. And he was, to the point where Jim Cornette basically told him to shut the fuck up. And then in the second half of the show, there was a different host who got a great big pop just because he's not Joel Ross. I went to a Progress show in 2012 and Joel Ross was there, and he was surrounded by people who thought, oh my god, it's Joel Ross. And I walked past him at one point when he didn't have anyone there, and I just looked at him and carried on walking like, I don't give a shit about you, mate. I don't watch it. I don't watch it at all. I also don't watch BritWres Talk, or whatever it's called, the one that's after it. Once a month, I think it is, or once every 2 weeks. They have a show about British wrestling. You'd think I'd watch that, wouldn't you? I don't want to see matches that are 4 years old. It doesn't interest me at all. Just doesn't interest me at all. And the way that the matches are they're in highlights form. So if you've got a match that's 20 minutes long that tells a really nice story, but you have 10 minutes of it chopped out, I don't get to see the whole story, so it doesn't interest me. It just does not interest me at all. And I love British wrestling, and I want you people to watch British wrestling if you can. Or shit rest, as that man Spaz Phoenix says. He's hilarious, isn't it? I'm a dick because I go support my independent wrestling instead of watching WWE. I'm the idiot. Fucking A. So we'll punch him in the face for definite. Twice, just for comments like that. Shit rest. Wow, what a witty bastard. Never heard that one before. In 96. You know, yeah. So yeah, because of my things with Joel Ross, it's one of those, I don't watch TNA. So I think if I watched Impact on a Sunday night, I would probably then leave the telly on and watch Wrestling Talk TV. Nowadays, I just don't. It just doesn't interest me whatsoever. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Question Mark. I really hope you enjoy this. We'll do another one in 100 subscribers time. That could be next week. It could be, couldn't it? If we get up for one, you know. So remember what I've said. Target for the year is 2,000 subscribers. Please keep watching my vids. My next vid will be a 10 years ago episode, I think. Unforgiven 2004. I've been Mark P. If you're watching this for the first time, please hit that subscribe button, click the like button, leave me a comment. That'd be brilliant. Thank you so much to every single person who has asked me a question. If by some chance I've missed your question, I don't think I have. If I have, let me know down below and I'll answer it written. I'll write your answer. All right? How's that sound? Okay. And if you've missed it, have a think. Answer me on next time. Okay. I've been Mark P. Thank you so much for watching. Take it easy, guys.